Morning everyone, welcome to the very first Friendly Junk Journal People Facebook group doing their 12 days of junk journal gift ideas, and it's the 1st of December. Wow, I don't know where this time has gone to, but it has just sped by, hasn't it? Unbelievable. Now today's it was to do a snowflake sample card. So I started off with a proper snowflake, and I've used a couple of little gems in here, and actually did a sample, the sort of sample that like Tracy Fox was doing, you know, with her butterflies and her bugs and things like this. This one, I've just used some lace on here, but I didn't put a top on that one because it was quite bumpy, you know, it really pulled it up. This one, I've actually punched these out with a punch out of some of Linda's papers, because I've used the whole kit of Linda's, the big one, a Christmas peacock. And you can also get a junk journal, you know, planner that goes with this kit. So, you know, there's two, but this is the main one that I'm using today. And the glitter came from my lovely friend Vicky. I got it in Happy Mail, and it's beautiful because it's really chunky and nice. Then this one I've used some charms on, and I've left the wee attacher on, the little circle at the top. I know a lot of people tend to cut them off when they're doing crafting, but I thought, well, if a friend receives this and they don't actually want to keep your card, which is very rare because normally when you make a handmade card people keep them, they could then pop these onto a chain, couldn't they? And then just to make it a little bit different, I've popped some Christmas trees on this one as well. And again, of course, I wouldn't put these under the plastic because they're too high. So that's just 5 I've been playing with today. Now, to get the template to make these, it's quite simple. Now I'm just going to get a bit of old packaging here so I can show you what I did. First thing I did was I punched out basically 3 squares. Now this is supposed to be a 2-inch square punch, but what that means is it's 2 inches from corner to corner, not across the bottom. We found that out a while back. We're all getting really frustrated because a 2-inch square punch isn't a 2-inch square punch. If you actually measure it, it's about 3.5 centimeters that way, or it's about 1.25 inches. That's how big it actually is. But obviously you use the size that you've got. Now if you haven't got a punch, what you can do is you just draw it and you cut it out with an X-Acto knife or a craft knife and a ruler. Easy to do. Or the other way is, once you've got your square, you've just got your wee square like this, you make a little hole in the middle with your scissors, and then you cut into the corners, and once you've cut into the corners it's easy to cut all the way round, and it makes a really neat square. Sometimes people leave a little bit of an edge when they cut them out, and then they fold that little flap underneath so it gives an even neater edge, but that's whichever way round you want to do it. Now once you've got your 3 squares, you will pop them on your card and you will eyeball them and think, right, well, where do I actually want these? Right, well, I think I want them there. So you will then just draw around them so you know where you want them to be. Because measuring, it doesn't always work, you know, and you get a bit frustrated, and if things aren't quite the right size, I find that no measure is a lot easier. So I'll pop that one there. Okay, and then once you've got that bit done, you're basically home and dry, aren't you? Because you then decide where you're going to cut down here, here, across the top and across the bottom. And you just cut them. You can either do them with scissors or you can do them on a, you know, paper cutter. It's all right, brain's gone dead. And when you cut it all out, you get a wee template like this. And this is a template I've been using. And it is so easy then to just pop it on your piece of paper, cut it out to size, draw your little squares on. I'm not sure whether you can see the squares on that or not. And I've cut a backing piece here too. And then you just punch out the holes. Oops. Now you can usually do about 2 or 3 depending on what the backing paper is. This is actually come from a burrito box, I think it is. Or fajita, one or the other. I was having a clear out, as you do before Christmas and what have you. You go through all your cupboards, don't you, and you throw out anything that's predated and what have you, and clean your cupboards up. Away. They've all gone on the floor. So I'll be picking them up in a bit. Now the paper I've used here, again, is one of Linda's Christmas Peacock Kit ones. And that gives you a lovely something to work with. Okay, that gives you your outside bit. And whether you decide you're going to stick butterflies in it or do the snowflakes or anything else, you've got your base. And once you've got a template, you can use it to pop anything in, can't you? And there's lots and lots of butterflies and goodness knows what else out there these days, isn't there? Because Tracy loves her bugs. Let's just get them down. Now this packaging came from, it was like additional bits to a set of gorgeous stuff that I got. You know, the little girl's gorgeous. Santoro gorgeous. It had ribbons in and little things like that. So this was actually the lid of it. But obviously you can get your cellophane or anything you like to use on here. Try not to use your expensive acetate, because it's all about recycling these days, isn't it? And about trying to make, you know, the whole idea of junk journaling was that we could make things out of junk, basically. That is where it all started from. Now, when you're cutting these out, don't fussy cut them out. Just cut them out with a bit of an edge, because once you've glued them together and they've dried, you then trim them off afterwards. It's much easier to do it when it's all glued together, and then you can do it afterwards. So that's my front and my back. Now I've got some snowflakes here. 1, 2. The other one's hiding there somewhere, isn't it? Yeah, I thought I had another one. That's strange. I thought I had another charm. That'll do. Now I always put a tiny, tiny little bit of glue on these just to hold them in place. Stop some sliding and slippy sliding all over the place. I love these Sugar Bell bottles, but you do need to give them a squeeze. And I still have absolutely no idea at all why Fabric Tac decided to put their glue into a bottle that you have to cut the lid off of. Most strange. Maybe they own Sugar Bell, but they're not telling anybody. But it is a game changer. I remember when Tracy Fox got sent one and she was showing everybody, and it really is, because you can get the most finest line of glue out And you know Fabri-Tac is so expensive. So let's just hair on there. Wait for the bubble to go up. I remember Jodie Johnson, she was gluing one day and she was gluing like this and she was just doing the bead of glue round. And people were like, why aren't you gluing it all over? And she said, well, you don't need to, because obviously as soon as you put the papers together, no, I've definitely got that one upside down. Once you've got the papers together, what happens is that the glue squidges out, doesn't it? And once it squidges out, you're like in that position where it, you know, it's going to cover everything. Very, very clever woman, Jodie. You know, from Tonic Studios. She's got some amazing ideas. And in fact, it's Tonic that I use their glue, their white glue. This is the glue I use for paper craft. The Deduct adhesive. I used to use the Dry as Clear. For years I used Dry as Clear. But I started getting the Tonic boxes. Subscription boxes. And I had the glue in and I was so impressed with it. I've not turned back. I'm cutting this off a bit prematurely because obviously I just want to show you what it looks like. Now, of course, you can use a paper cutter to do this as well, which will give you even straighter an edge. And once you've finished making them, I would suggest giving the plastic a bit of a clean up before you make them in the first place. But use a tumble dryer sheet, and it will stop bits actually adhering to the plastic when you've made them. But there's your sample. Quite easy to do if you know the cheats way. So let me just show you the papers that I made these lovely cards with. Now, let me just get them from underneath here. Right, this is not all the papers, this is just some that I've printed off. And as you can see, it's very much about Christmas, but you've got those lovely peacock colours going through there as well as the green and the blue. And they are so beautiful. Now Linda, she will like make the background papers and she will sort of design what she wants to do. This is the one that I use, by the way, for the, you know, to punch out the snowflakes, because these snowflakes fit a punch perfectly. Put my teeth back in again. I've actually got 2 snowflake punches, and I know most people have got a snowflake punch somewhere. And that one worked really, really well. Aren't these snowmen cute? This one. Now, if you decide you want one of the images this side, what you can do is you print it off twice, and then you fold your paper over and you do what you normally do, and then you cut that bit out, take it and just glue it on the front. That's how I did. That's how I've done things that I've made in the past. I love this one. But I think Norella and Linda, when they, you know, they come together and they design these kits together, they come up with the most beautiful designs. And of course you can get the planner kit as well as the normal kit. And these are available on Linda's website, which I'll link below. And that's the Christmas Peacock Kit. There is another one that she's done as well, the Peacock Kit, which is just as beautiful. And I'll just show you some of the embellishments. Aren't these lovely? I think, you know, Norella is so clever. She really is. I love that one. I like green anyway. Here's our lovely peacock. Now, if you want to get the kit that's not digi, you know, you can get it, Linda has already printed it out for you. She does it on a subscription basis, and you can actually get a kit printed out for you in the post, and you'll get additions that go with it, like tattered angels, for example, or there may be a stencil and other things. There's lots of other things that go in the box. It's really, really worthwhile buying the box subscription. Now, the words that I've used, like the sugar and spice makes Christmas nice, I've taken from a set of words that Paulette from TLC Creates has made. Now, I've printed them all at half size, and they're lovely. They are so, so nice. And what I did is I matte and layered these onto a piece of that same as this card and cut it out, so it's got like the double layer, and it just gives it a little bit extra on it. And some of the wordings are just lovely. It's the time of the year when the world falls in love. And it isn't it? It's Hallmark movie time. Everybody's thinking about love and romance. Not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. I think that's one of the most famous poems ever. Wishing you a season filled with peace and happiness. And just believe in the magic of Christmas. And don't catch snowflakes with your tongue until you know the birds have all gone south from the winter. That's a bit like don't eat yellow snow. So there's 4, and I'll link Paulette's shop below. And the other little words that I've used here, like I found sparkle, came from Pink Monarch Prints. It's a page of different bits and bats. Obviously, I've chopped this one up. Different little wordings. There's some lovely round ones there as well. And they just worked really, really well with this kit. They all came together beautifully. I've used another one here. Yes, not here. See, I've used Paulette's Silent Night up the top here, and then I've put the snow one in there. And how I've edged all mine, I need to finish edging my cards. I've not edged them. I think I've only edged one so far with the Distress Oxide. I've used the speckled egg one. So I've used a speckled egg, and it just matched perfectly on this. It just really, really brought them up beautifully. And I'm just so pleased with them. I really am. This one obviously is a little bit bulky because I've got the gems underneath, but it still worked with both, you know, the acetate on both sides, or plastic, whatever you're using. But obviously something like this one, it's too thick. You need to leave the lid off, so to speak. And I left it off on this one as well. Well, I hope you enjoy making these sample cards, because once you've actually got that template, you can then translate it into any season then, can't you? And as I say, butterflies are really popular in these samples. And as I say, Tracy loves her bugs. But I've seen so many different things that you could put in here. I mean, like I've got a little packet here that I've been sat on the fire. This had my Christmas trees in. And they're like buttons. So something even like these could go in, you know. I think these are a bit sticky, aren't they? You know, something like this would be just as lovely, and look, wouldn't they? I think they would look absolutely adorable in as well. So have fun playing with these. I will put the links below, and do follow the rest. There's only 5 of us who are actually doing it this year. So I encourage you to go and watch Linda's, because obviously she does so much to let people be part of that group. It is a massive group. You're allowed to advertise yourself once a day, which I think is incredible, because the majority of groups do not allow selling these days. As you know, Tracy has the Foxy Crafters classified, so that you need to, you know, put your Etsy links and that in there, and then we keep Foxy Crafters as a separate entity, and that's where you're showing, you can put your YouTube channel. And some groups are not even allowing selling at all. I mean, like G.I. Kerr, you cannot put any YouTube links in. You can put a video in, but it has to be without the link to YouTube, you know. So you make a video and you'll just put the blank video up. But there's nothing else that you can do in there. And it needs to be associated with her things. So it's, you know, it is literally for her, and the things you do are using her products. Mind you, her Friday freebies are unbelievable and her stuff is beautiful. So thank you so much for joining me today. I cannot believe that we've got December so fast this year. I mean, most of us, I think, are thinking, have we had a year this year? It's just gone. I so look forward to seeing you tomorrow, and have an amazing day. Love and blessings to all of you. Bye.